everyone. Thank you for joining us to talk about books on Just Read It. We're at Laurelhurst Village, the retirement center in Portland, Oregon. And today we're going to be talking about Beautiful Ruins, a Pacific Northwest writer. Our special guest today, Susan, you know by now, is my co-host who writes the Sage Adair wonderful mysteries series. And our guest today is Jacyln Edmund, and she has a new book, Romance Regency, for you gals who like Georgette Heyer stuff, The Price of Perfection. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, the novel today is also romance, Beautiful Ruins, and by Jess Walter. And we'd like to hear your take on it.
Well, mostly I loved it. I thought it was a very, very well-crafted novel. It was very impressive how he constructed the different timelines and let them kind of wind together throughout the story. It didn't feel overwhelming in any way for a reader. It was very smooth. I love how he changed tone a little bit for every character and timeline, which was very, very nice. It made it much more engaging and drew you in better. Overall, I thought it was a wonderful story. I had one little mini caveat. There was kind of an overarching theme of kind of regret and the one who got away, etc. And when you have that kind of perspective from a primarily male perspective, it kind of forces more of the female characters to be a little bit more like objects, and it kind of takes away a little depth of character for them, and I kind of felt that a little bit in this story. But
can you summarize the plot just a little bit for us?
Yes, sure. Kind of. There were multiple plots. It starts out in, I think, 1962 with Pasquale Tursi, who is an Italian hotel owner. He's running his hotel, and a beautiful young woman just takes a boat into his shore and is going to stay at his hotel. And it kind of sparks off a series of different timelines from there. There are a lot of characters that interact at the hotel or back in the US where she's the woman that comes as an actress, and Hollywood characters also, including Richard Burton.
Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes, yeah,
it was a surprise.
But it involves a little bit of that drama as well.
Filming of Cleopatra.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
that's
indeed.
right.
That was what they were filming,
actually.
which I've yet to see, but I want to. If it was real, is it a made-up story?
It's a real movie.
Okay.
It's a dog.
Oh no, that's what they
But
said.
it made billions of bucks. So.
Oh yes, well that is part of the focus in the story. And it kind of also moves back to present day and trying to make a film now with the same people from then and trying to contact Dee again, the actress.
And Pasquale is in love with this actress all his life.
Exactly.
He looks her up in his old age.
Yes.
Okay. So you enjoyed the book?
Yes, overall I enjoyed it. Yes,
Okay, great. Well, from a romance novelist, we must listen. All right, Susan.
Well, first of all, this author's from Spokane, Washington, which I thought was kind of interesting. He'd be writing about Italy. And I did something I usually don't do. Before I read it, I actually went online and looked at Goodreads and reviews, and it was pretty much split down the middle. And one of the things that people hated was the fact that there was different timelines and it kept going back and forth. So I read it, and I was kind of glad that I was forewarned, because I think it would have taken me a while to get used to that. I think what struck me about this was people were imperfect. Everybody was imperfect, but the author had such a depth of compassion about every one of them, even the bad guy. You know, you ended up feeling sympathy for. So I really like that, when the author has that kind of compassion. I really like that aspect of it. And I think, why did he call it Beautiful Ruins? And I think maybe it's because although everybody's life in a way was imperfect and slightly ruined, they were still all beautiful, and he was able to portray them that way. And that's just my head. It's probably not even what the author was thinking, but it was kind of what I thought might have happened.
Well, of course, it takes place in the Cinque Terre of Italy, which is nothing but beautiful ruins.
Yes.
But I like your take, Susan, because I didn't think of it that way.
What did you think?
Oh, what did I think? Oh, well, first of all, I always love a good writer. You know, I don't care if the story takes me where I don't want to go. If the boat sails smoothly, I'll take the trip. As for why he wrote about Italy, darling, he's a writer. He can't afford anything like a trip to the Cinque Terre, so
you don't think he's been there?
Yes. Right?
I thought maybe he had been there.
Anyway, I did think he was a wonderful writer. I like your take, Jacyln. I thought the women were paper dolls again, you know, these. But, and I absolutely hated the flipping back and forth. This is something this generation can do well, you know, the short attention span, but I need a little continuity, and I had to keep looking. Oh, now what year is this? What year is this? Nonetheless, once you got used to it,
yes.
it flows. What I didn't buy is the whole point on which the novel pivots, and that is that Dee Moray, who is the beautiful woman who starts this whole thing, she comes to the hotel because she's had an affair with Richard Burton. The Hollywood people want to get her off the set, but instead of telling her that she's pregnant, which would be normal, and that they're going to pay for her abortion in Switzerland, they allow her to believe she's dying of stomach cancer as a way to get her off. Well, first of all, that's hideously cruel, but second of all, so unnecessary. It wasn't a point of believability. You know what I mean? She didn't have to be dying of cancer to get her off the island.
But 1962 Hollywood, they were pretty callous.
Yeah.
Well,
and
they made
focused
it.
on that.
And did Richard Burton want a byblow running around? You know.
Yeah, but you could have said, darling, you're pregnant. Well, here's a plane ticket to Switzerland. Go.
But she wouldn't have, and she didn't. When she knew she was pregnant, she didn't.
And
No, she kept the child. That's true.
Yes.
That's true. And, of course, there's this whole other line. Well, I've got to watch the time here. So we're at this point now where, Jacyln, you just have to give us your verdict, and it's a cliffhanger.
Yes, I know. Well, every chapter kind of ended on a cliffhanger, which I kind of like, actually. You were forced to fill in the blanks just a little bit as a reader. I think just based on writing and then the construction of the novel, I would have to recommend it. I would probably give everyone that same caveat I gave you about the kind of lack of depth for the female characters, but beyond that, I think that I would recommend it.
Right.
Which should I do that now? Is it too soon?
Well, shall we let
I'm sorry, I don't know how this goes.
Go ahead and take your marble, darling.
All right, I'll totally take
shot.
my risk. I wasn't sure if that was the moment. All right, this is the recommend,
Go
right?
for it.
All right.
All right.
Sorry.
Susan.
And I also recommend it. And yay for our Spokane writer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to be a party pooper. I did enjoy reading it. It's just that there were just times when I had to swallow harder than I thought literary fiction demanded. But it is a good read, and who doesn't want to be at the Cinque Terre?
I know. It was beautifully described.
That's true.
Yeah, read it, everybody. And thank you very much for being with us at Just Read It. And come back again. We'll have more absurdities to share with you. Thank you.